Namaskar, warm greetings from DELNET Developing Library Network, New Delhi and Somaya Vidya Vihar University, Mumbai. Wishing you all a very happy and illuminating Teachers' Day today. Most respected, esteemed speaker, Dr. Satish Modh, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Somaya Vidya Vihar University. Dr. Hindu Rao S. Vedantaji, the Professor Emeritus, LIS and University Librarian, Somaya Vidya Vihar University. Officials from Somaya Vidya Vihar University, Mumbai. Esteemed heads of institutions, including directors, principals, distinguished librarians, esteemed teachers whom we are celebrating today, library and information science professionals, IT professionals, faculty, researchers, scholars, students, my colleagues here at DELNET New Delhi, as well as its coordination units at Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Pune, ladies and gentlemen. I, Dr. Sangeeta Kaul, Director DELNET New Delhi, on behalf of DELNET New Delhi, and also Somaya Vidya Vihar University, Mumbai, extends a warm, hearty welcome to all of you for joining us today from different nooks and parts of India, and also many other countries, including Bahamas, Bangladesh, Canada, Iran, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, and USA, to celebrate Teachers' Day today, to celebrate and express our immense gratitude to the guiding lights, the teachers, of our lives by organizing an empowering session on teachers' role in integrating Indian knowledge system in implementing NEP 2020, which will shortly be delivered by our most esteemed speaker. We are much grateful to each one of you for your overwhelming response to today's webinar session being organized on this very special day today, as nearly more than 1,000 participants have registered for the session. At the very outset, on behalf of DELNET, we would like to express a very warm, sincere gratitude to Somaya Vidya Vihar University for acceding to our request to organize this joint webinar session here today. We heartily welcome our most esteemed speaker, Dr. Satish Modh, the Pro Vice Chancellor at Somaya Vidya Vihar University. We remain ever grateful to you, sir, for your very, very gracious presence with us on this platform. And it was indeed a great honor and pleasure to have met you in person on August 27. And you have been so kind and gracious in accommodating your request. And in spite of your busy schedule, you have been able to be there with us. We remain ever grateful to you, sir, for this. I have immense pleasure in now requesting Professor Vedantaji to kindly introduce our distinguished speaker. May I request Professor Vedantaji to kindly introduce our speaker, please. It's over to you, Professor Vedantaji.
Good morning to all and have a happy Teachers' Day. I wanted to introduce our chief guest, Professor Modh, sir. Professor Modh is the Pro Vice Chancellor and the Dean of the Somaya Vidya Vihar University, Mumbai. He has held a leadership position, namely Vivekananda Education Society Institute of Management, Mumbai, Professor and Director, Narsimoji Institute of Management, Universities, Mumbai, as a Professor and Associate Dean, Aeronautical Society of India, Mumbai Branch, Honorary Secretary and the Chairman, Air India Aircraft Engineers Association General Secretary, Air India Deputy General Manager and member of Business Transformation Group. In 2001, Professor Modh visited Gujarat after the earthquake. He met many disaster-affected persons and endeavored during his visit. He went on the published many books on the subject, namely as a Citizen's Guide to Disaster Management, Introduction to Disaster Management, Managing Natural Disaster, and the Managing Technological and Environmental Disasters. Professor Modh has also written a book titled Discovery the Arjun in Yoga, analyzing the Arjun's conversation with Sri Krishna and Gita. He has also developed a psychometric test based on the Triguna concept to help you understand your personality and the leadership styles. Based on his research on the Indian knowledge system, he has written a book on the business ethics titled Ethical Management. He has been invited to speak on this subject at various universities in USA, many universities also. Professor Modh was given the Outstanding Reviewers Award at the Academy of Management Conference, Boston in 2019, MSR Interest Group. He was also awarded the Devang Mehta Award for Outstanding Contribution of Education in 2004. On this occasion, I welcome the Professor Satish Modh, sir, respected Pro Vice Chancellor, for the guest for this to address the gathering on this today morning. Thank you.
Namaste. I am sure that all of you are able to hear me. Today is Teachers' Day, and we celebrate Teachers' Day to honor our president, past president. All of you must be very well aware of him. And he was an ideal teacher. Just to honor him and inculcate his qualities in us, we celebrate Teachers' Day. Now, what are these qualities of a good teacher, a true teacher? If we first understand that, then we will be able to understand our role as a teacher who will be integrating our Indian knowledge system in implementing national education policy. So I have been privileged to take, Kriya Diksha from Swami Paramhans Yogananda's School of Yoga, Kriya Yoga. And, one prayer which we always recite before we start our practice of Kriya Yoga. And that prayer is Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvam Asyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tvam Namami. Now this explains the qualities of a teacher, a Sadguru, or a good teacher or a true teacher. These are the qualities which we need to imbibe, but still I would like to just translate this Sanskrit into English so that we understand what we are talking about, what are the qualities a good teacher should have. Then only we will be able to effectively connect and transform our students' lives. So when we say Brahmanandam Parama Sukhadam, a teacher who is staying in eternal bliss, Anand. Anand is different than pleasure. Anand is different than Sukh. So eternal bliss, a teacher is always staying in eternal bliss, never getting any other kind of, our shad enemies which we are talking about. They are not affected by that. Only then we are able to stay in eternal bliss. And Param Sukhdam is a supreme joy. Sukh is joy, not happiness. And what is that? We know pleasure as deriving out of our senses, but joy is inner joy. When we are truly happy from within, that joy is reflected on our face. So a teacher is always anandit and living in his own joy, joy of knowledge, joy of giving his knowledge, sharing his knowledge or her knowledge with his students, disciples. That is the kind of state a guru always lives in. Then it says that a guru is always living in purity. Purity means not getting influenced by the bad habits of the world. They don't touch the guru. And in modern world, we are all continuously get influenced by surroundings that I need this better house, better car, and if I don't have that, then I feel sad. So all those things, a true teacher is not affected. Sometimes a teacher's student becomes a very big man, and a thought may come that, see, this person I taught and he has become so big, but I am still remaining so poor. So this kind of thoughts don't come in a good teacher's mind. And then he is like a Gagan Sadrish. is like a sky. You know, we all talk about inclusiveness, but our ancient scriptures have already talked about a teacher is all inclusive, is Gagan Sadrish. There is no end. He is limitless in his or her love towards his or her disciples. So he is Gagan Sadrish in approach towards. So he is not. She is not differentiating between rich and poor, or well dressed or not well dressed. So that is the kind of quality. That is the wisdom the teacher has, and always understands. I am that. What is I am that? I am that is a Veda Vakya, where a teacher understands that we are all representatives or a part of Ishwar, the Brahma, and what Brahma dwells in me dwells in everyone. So when we have this thought, there is always equality, equanimity in our mind. We treat everybody as our own because it's the same God in me which is there in everybody else. And then he is always established in truth. Now, for a teacher to be established in truth is very, very important. He has to be away from any falsehood and always in the pursuit of truth. That is what a good teacher should always be. And he should live, or the teacher should live his or her life as an observer, continuously learning from the surroundings, continuously learning from colleagues, continuously learning from students. Only when a teacher remains in the state of an observer, one can become a good or a true teacher. Then there are two more things required of a good teacher. One is bhava titam. Bhava is emotions. A teacher should not be affected by emotions. I am reminded of an incident when I was associate dean in NMIMS. One incident came to my notice. Few students came to me and said that his very expensive mobile was thrown by the teacher on the ground and it broke, and he wanted compensation of the cost of that mobile from the teacher. So I called the teacher. What happened? Why did you throw his mobile on the ground and broke it? So teacher said that I am teaching such an important topic and I want all of them to learn. But this person, this boy was continuously on his mobile, chatting on his mobile. I told him not to play on his mobile or do whatever is doing on mobile. And he didn't listen to me once, twice, thrice. So I got angry and threw the mobile on the ground. But I really asked him, did you succeed in what you wanted to do? That did you succeed in bringing the attention of your students to what you were teaching? You failed in that. So you need to handle the situation in the classroom little differently. It's very, very important. This happens with all of us teachers nowadays in the era of mobile and laptop. When we are teaching, students are continuously, we don't know whether they are doing some assignment or making notes or playing some games. And many times, many teachers lose their cool and they create a scene in the classroom. We need to learn to handle all these situations. So we have to be beyond emotions. If we are played by our emotions, then we cannot be a good teacher. And the last thing this shloka says is that we should be triguna rahitam. Now, what is this triguna rahitam? Our Sankhya Yoga in our Indian knowledge system has described that there are three energies: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattva is the energy of goodness, Rajas is the energy which propels us, and Tamas is the energy of resistance, inertia. All these three energies are continuously playing within us. Sometimes when Sattva is dominant, we want to do good for others. When Rajas is dominant, we want to achieve our goals. And when tamas is dominant, we want to follow status quo so that we remain secure where we are. So a guru is always without these three gunas. The guru goes beyond these three gunas. So then what happens? That you are not influenced. You are always want to do good. Even if you want to act for your own selfishness, you always keep goodness of others in mind. So when we understand the qualities of a good teacher and we try to imbibe some of them within us, we are always, being a good teacher is a journey. Nobody can say that I have already become a good teacher. So once we understand that we have to follow this path, then let us look at how we can integrate Indian knowledge system in implementing national education policy. We last 4 years we have been talking about national education policy, and most of us really know the components of national education policy. There are many structural reforms, inter-credit transfer, uh, bank of credit, so many things we keep on talking about, and even in the school education, a lot of structural reforms we have been talking about. When this is going on, the main focus of this national education policy, other than structural reform, is to integrate Indian knowledge system in education. Now, what is this Indian knowledge system? Knowledge is a knowledge. And if we really look at knowledge as eternal, knowledge as which is giving us wisdom, then it has to be same across the world. Then why we want to use this particular thing as Indian knowledge system? This has come about because the way we look at the world is a little different than how others look at the world. And because of this difference, we had to suffer 1000 years of ignominy in our history, that we thought that everyone believes in dharma. Every war will be fought in a dharmic way. Indians were not that they didn't believe in violence, they were fighting war. But right from the days of Mahabharata, our people believed that, okay, you start the war like we start office from 10 to 6. They start the war at the rise of the sun and stop the war when sun sets. That is the way we used to fight the war. But when others came to fight the war, they never believed in those values of even fighting the war. They believed everything is fair in love and war. And none of our scriptures will ever tell us that everything is fair in love and war. Whereas we will say that war has to be fought in a dharmic way, and love, we have to spread love. Just to gain our love, we need not be practicing unfair practices to gain the attention of our loved ones. So there is a total different value system which we encountered, and because of that we suffered a lot. We were brave, our armies were brave, our people were brave, we kept on fighting, and for 1000 years we kept on fighting. Sometimes we succeeded, sometimes we threw the enemy out, but again they attacked us. And because of that, our libraries were destroyed, our knowledge were destroyed, and we hardly were left with functional schools. Our education system was destroyed. Earlier, the report of Macaulay, which he sent to British Parliament, it said that there are schools in every villages. Temple was the center for commerce and social gathering and education. And he said that it is very difficult to capture this country and rule this country unless we destroy the education system prevalent in this country. And very methodically, they started spreading a kind of word that if you know English, then you are literate, and if you don't know English, then you are illiterate. Even if you are a master in Sanskrit, even if you are a master in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Marathi, Gujarati, we have so many languages. We are scholars in our own languages, but if you don't know English, then you are illiterate. And this kind of thoughts gathered, lot of prominence in our system. Even today, our Supreme Court works only in English. Many of the high courts, they only works in English. And 90% of our people don't even understand what is going on between the lawyer and the judge, and only even the decisions they are not able to understand. So when we started talking about our Indian knowledge system, now the Supreme Court has started translating some of its decisions in our own languages. So our Indian knowledge system is not just a knowledge which we say that it is there in Vedas, Upanishad. Our Indian knowledge system is hidden in all the languages, in our customs, in our traditions, in the way we live, the way we eat, the way we prepare our food. The whole lifestyle is Indian knowledge system. And when we say that our teacher's role is to integrate Indian knowledge system, is to focus on our swa, our self, who we are. We need not copy what is going on in the world and believe that that is the only way to progress. Many of the countries who have progressed, they didn't know English. Somehow, the thought has come into our mind that right from, even if somebody is very poor, they will pay very high fees to get into an English school, because this thought has captured our mind that if we don't know English, we cannot be classified as a learned person. Even this lecture we are having in English, though we are talking about Indian knowledge system, because we believe that this is the only language which is connecting intellectuals and understood by intellectuals. All our higher education, be it medicine, law, engineering, or even skill oriented, many of the things are all there in English medium. And students suffer because right from childhood, they speak local language, their mother tongue at home. But what happens when they go out in the school and they want to learn? They start right from what is tree, what is a cat, what is a mouse. He might be knowing tree is a vriksha, but then his learning starts again by using the words in English, and we say that now my word is being taught something. Whereas these are the basic fundamentals which everyone already knows by the time the child goes to the school, and from there, with various experiences and the methods of teaching, the learning can be speeded up. And then those who are not able to cope up with this differentiation in mother tongue and English, we start calling them slow learners and put them aside, and they are branded all their life. So when we are talking about Indian knowledge system, we must understand that the Indian knowledge exists in every living language of this land. And it is just not what is there in some English books. That may be just 1% of the knowledge which is there on earth. We have so much knowledge in our own languages. I am in Maharashtra, and if I say that some of the authors in Marathi are so excellent that they deserve many Nobel prizes in literature, it is not something which I am exaggerating. And the same thing is true in every language. But because we are not taking pride in our Indian knowledge, our Indian languages, we are somewhere confused. So how do we integrate Indian knowledge system? What is our role? So when I started this talk, I first said that we have to bring in those qualities in us, a good teacher's quality, a true teacher's quality in us. Then only we will be a good teacher. And when we are a good teacher, students will will have complete trust in us. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if you really want to learn something, you have to have a complete faith and trust in your teacher. You have to surrender to your teacher to mold your life. Then only your life will be transformed. I am reminded of, the Mahabharata. Mahabharata story begins with the story of Guru Dhaumya and his three disciples, three Shishya, Aruni, Upamanyu, and Ved. And people will say that this whole Mahabharata, where these three names are not again mentioned anywhere later on, then why these three disciples and their Guru Dhaumya is mentioned? It is purely to say that if you want to learn anything from Mahabharata, you have to have be a Sadguru like Dhaumya, and teachers have to, and the students have to have complete faith. When they have such Sadguru, then only students will have total faith in their teacher, their Guru. So what is the story of Aruni? The story of Aruni goes the way that Guru Dhomi was taking his class in his ashram, and there was heavy rains going on. You know, currently there is a monsoon, and we have seen what monsoon can do, heavy rains can do. So there was heavy rain there outside. So he told one of his disciple, Aruni, that, you know, Aruni, we have these fields outside, and just see whether the water is there in the field, and if it is the made of the field is not broken, so that all the water will go out, and then we will have difficulty in growing whatever we are growing. So Aruni went out towards the fields, and Guru Dhaumya continued his teaching. And till evening, when Aruni didn't return, so Guru Dhaumya became little, you know, cautious, and he said, "What is happening? Why he has not returned? Let us go and search before it is too dark." And all the Shishya and Guru Dhaumya went towards the fields and started saying, "Aruni, where are you? Aruni, where are you?" And there was no sound. There was nothing. Then suddenly, Guru Dhaumya heard a very faint voice, "Guruji, I am here." And then he looked around and he found Aruni lying on the field and blocking the flow of water from one of the boundaries of the field. So Guruji said, "Why you are lying here?" He said, "Guruji, when I came here, I found this made was broken and the water was flowing out. And you said that make sure that water doesn't flow out. So I tried to repair this made, and I tried a lot, but the water flow was so strong that I could not stop this. So I realized that if I lie down on the made, I can stop the flow of the water. And I am lying down here so that the water doesn't flow. And see, I have succeeded." And Guru Dhaumya was highly impressed by his Guru Bhakti and his commitment to what he has been told to do. This is the story of Aruni, and Guru Dhaumya paid special attention to learning of Aruni, and he became one of the great scholars. That is how Mahabharata began. Then also how you know, teacher and student relationship plays out is also there in the story of Guru Dhaumya and Upmanyu, which is the second story of Mahabharata, in just the beginning of Mahabharata. So you know, we have Goshalas in ashram. So Guru Dhaumya asked Upmanyu to take care of Gaushala while learning. So he used to go and take care of the Gaushala, and Guru Dhaumya observed that he never comes back from you know, Gaushala for food. So he called him and said, "Upmanyu, you don't come to share the food with other disciples. What you are doing?" He said that, "Sir, Guruji, you have told me to take care of Gaushala. I want to spend as much time as possible in the Gaushala. So when I take care of Gaushala, I go out into the villages, and whatever is there, I come and give it in the ashram and then go back to Gaushala. And when I feel hungry, I again go back to villages and ask for alms from the people, and they give me and I eat that. So I am good." So Guruji said, "Upmanyu, when you go second time to the village, you know what they do? Once you go there, whatever is their capacity, they have already given you. But when you go again, whatever they have saved for themselves, they cannot say no to you. So they give it to you. So you should not do that." So Upmanyu said, "Okay." After a couple of days, Upmanyu again doesn't come back for food. So again, Guruji goes there to the Goshala and sees he is fit and healthy, and nothing has happened to him. So he asked Upmanyu, "Upmanyu, you don't go out for a second time for this bhiksha, and you don't come to ashram also, but still you are so healthy. What you are doing?" So Upmanyu says that, since you stopped me from going to the village second time, what I do is, after the cows have taken their milk, whatever milk is remaining in the cow's thun, I drink that. So he said, no, no, Manu, you should not do that. This is not good. Why we live there is because of some medical purposes. We should not do that. So like that, it kept on happening. And finally, Upmanyu found that there is no way he can eat anything. So he was very hungry one day. So he went into the forest adjoined to Goshala. And he was so hungry, he was eating leaves of any tree which was coming in. And there he touched some poisonous leaves, and when he touched those hand to his eyes, he became blind and he fell into a blind well. And after a couple of days, when Guruji went to Goshala, that he has not come, so he didn't find him, so he started searching Upmanyu in the forest, and he started shouting his name. And again, he found a very thin voice coming from a blind well where there was no water, and said, Guruji, I am here. So when Guruji looked at him and said, Are Upmanyu, what happened to you? Why you are here? He described the whole situation. He said that maybe I touched some poisonous leaves and I touched my eyes. So I have become blind and I cannot see. So I am lying here. So Guruji said that I have taught you some, prayers of Ashwini Kumars. Why don't you recite those prayers with your heart? You have so much, karuna in you. If you recite those prayers, Ashwini Kumar will be happy with you and they will grant you whatever you wish. And he recited Ashwini Kumar's prayers, and Ashwini Kumar became happy with him. And when they came, they asked Guru Dhomi what happened, why he is crying and praying with so much heart and deep, surrender. So Guru explained to him. So Ashwini Kumar became very happy, and he granted him all the boons and knowledge and wealth. So these are some couple of stories right in Mahabharata which describes the relationship between a true teacher and a committed disciple. So and how it can happen? It can happen if we want the commitment of a student towards learning. We want to implement Indian knowledge system. In implementing, we should first understand the sentiment behind the way the relationship of Guru and Shishya is defined in Indian society. We will not hear this kind of examples in Western society. You will not hear this kind of examples in any other part of the world. What is there? That's why we are very proud of this Indian knowledge system. This knowledge system comprises of such stories which tell us that how we have to learn, how we have to be committed to learning. So then if we understand this about what Indian knowledge system is and what is the theory behind it, then let us look at how a teacher can integrate Indian knowledge system in implementing NEP 2020. So the first thing which comes to my mind is the curriculum. We have to look at our curriculum. We have designed our curriculum and it is being thrown from the day we became independent and even before that. And many of the things have become redundant there. The examination system, curriculum, and it has become so much so that the students, they don't want to go to school. We keep on hearing about heavy bags young students have to carry to school, and NEP is talking about lightening the weight of the carrying bag. In the initial years, they don't need to learn this ABCD or E or whatever script we have. They first must learn to understand how to use their body. In our education system, as we go higher and higher in learning, we more and more stop learning how to use our body, and we know how only to use our brain. We don't know how to use our emotions. We don't know how to be a good with another person. We have no skills of our hand or anything else. We just keep on burdening our brain, our intellect with so many things. Do this, do that, and we become unidimensional. If I imagine how a body of a student looks like, by the time, if we just can, imagine, I think the half of the body will be brain and half the body will be small hand and legs, because Today's student, they don't play in the field, they don't do anything with their hands. So the capacity, if we imagine, and by the time they do their master's degree, I would say 90% of the body is only brain. So you just sit on a chair in front of a computer and use your fingers only to type on the laptop, and nothing else is known for your function of the body. You have never been to any playground. And I think by the time you complete your PhD, we are only brains personified. We don't know even how to use our hands and legs and eyes and ears, how to what to listen, what not to listen. That is the kind of system we have created in our current education system. What we need to do is teach our students first how to use their hand, body, mind, intellect coordination, how to use our body, which has been given to us by our parents. And if we don't know how to use this, so sports has to be a basic function of our studies. Learning music, learning, even this military NCC has to be part of our teaching, because that teaches us how to walk together. If we don't know how to walk together in a parade, then we don't know how to take care of each other. Because when we walk in a parade, we look at our front, we look at our back, we look at our sides and see that we are not touching any one of them, maintaining the same distance, safe distance. Whether you are tall or you are short, you are big or you are small, you try to match step by step and see that you work in cohesion. So we may not understand that why you have to be part of NCC or why parade is such an important part of military. But simply doing parade for half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour teaches you so many things of working together in a team, working together as a unit. All this should be part of our, young education system, so that they understand how to take care of each other and move in a group. So that is how the school education should be in the initial years, and then we can teach them in their mother tongue. We don't have to, the language can be learned anytime. I have done all my studies till HSSC in Hindi medium, and when I went to English medium engineering college, I hardly knew English very well, just some 2-3 years of learning really a very elementary English. But I could learn English in 6 months' time, at least technical English, and start understanding. And it didn't affect my standing in the class in any way. And then I kept on doing my master's degree in engineering, my LLB, my management degree, all in English. So my learning in Hindi didn't affect in any way my higher education. So those and many of those people whom I saw, they were going to English medium school. I find them nowhere near anywhere in those achievements. They could not do anything because they thought that they have become superior simply by knowing English, and they became egoistic. So we have to be very careful when we learn in our own mother tongue, the thought process, because I still think in Hindi. When I am talking, my thought process is continuously thinking in Hindi and translating that in English, and I am talking to you. That becomes our nature. Many of our people who are Marathi or Gujarati, when they talk, the thought process keeps on happening in their mother tongue, and because our brain is a very fast processor, we are able to speak in another tongue, though we are thinking in another language. So the Indian knowledge system, the background and the basis and the foundation is learning in our mother tongue. And once we start learning in our mother tongue, we will not be confused, or anybody we will say that he's a slow learner or she's a slow learner. So the curriculum has to be designed in our own mother tongue till at least we reach. In Japan, Germany, they teach even higher education in their own languages. We can have translators who can translate those books in our Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu. In fact, it will create hundreds of jobs. Those who are good linguists, those who have good command over their mother tongue, they can translate any book. We are 140 crore people in the country. Even 5% of population, if they are very good in their linguistic domain, they can translate any book coming out in the world in the local language, and also translate books of other Indian languages into other Indian languages so that they are available to everyone. Today, if I don't know what are the good books written in Tamil, I rarely know what are the good books written in Gujarati. We can translate good Tamil books in Gujarati, good Gujarati books in Tamil, Marathi. So this is a very big domain in Indian knowledge system. We have to focus because the knowledge, the whole thing is, today's talk is being planned by DELNET, Developing Library Network. And this library network need not be only of English language books. We have to create books we have to have a library network of all the books languages, and we have to promote translation of our Indian language books from one language book to all other 20 to 21 languages, so that those good books are available to everyone and that can be available on the platform of DELNET. It's a very big task. Government, social entrepreneurs, people with lots of money, if they start focusing on that, we will be creating a real knowledge bank from where our students will benefit. In my view, this has to be the first step of making the total Indian knowledge available in all the local languages in our Matrabhasha, so that we can teach whatever we want to teach in the same language. This is the first step. And when we create the curriculum, then we will know that we don't waste 5-6 years of our students' lives by simply teaching them English and vocabulary of English. So this is the first thing, curriculum adoption we have to do while implementing NEP 2020. The second thing is technology upgradation. Nowadays various softwares are available where if you want to translate one book from one language to another language, 99% of the book you can translate. You just put the book and use the translator, and what you have to do is only put a good linguist to correct the grammar and some misinterpretation, mistranslation of some words. We have to use the technology. This is available, and we are the superior power in IT domain. We should use this power available to us to create this Indian knowledge system, big library network. So technology upgradation, you should use digital tools to improve learning. Then there has to be a continuous professional development of teachers. Teaching is just not transferring knowledge. There are many soft skills which teacher has to learn, which I earlier explained in this Brahmanandam shloka. We have to continuously see this humanity aspect of our teacher should be continuously monitored and seen, because a teacher is the big boss. Teacher is the god, the Ishwar of the class. A teacher can destroy, make and break life of any student. So if we don't bring that God to earth and Ishwar to earth and say that you are a human being and you are a guru and you have to only transform the lives, don't be a judge and decide punishment. So continuous professional development of teachers is required in soft skills, in domain skills they need to do. When we do that, the whole approach has to be student centric. The NEP 2020 is talking about student centric. It is talking about internship. Those internships should be implemented. Government has announced many schemes of internship. Just bookish knowledge will not help in finding jobs or creating entrepreneurs. We will have to adopt a student-centric approach in our classroom. We have to give courses which students joyfully learn. When they go to the institution, they should have a total freedom to choose a subject. We should not be a master of deciding that what you should become. If you have taken admission in our commerce class, I will make you an accountant. Whether you want to be accountant or not, you suffer because you have taken admission in my commerce class. Or if you have taken admission in my engineering course, now you suffer for next 4 years and you have to pass. I will see that you pass. I will teach you so that you pass. But then you suffer your life as an engineer because you have taken this step to take engineering admission. If we look around successful people in our society, we find that many of these people, they got educated in some subject and became successful in some other subject. And many of the internationally renowned, musicians or artists or Olympians, they have fortunately not gone to any schools. That's why they could rise to the level of world class. So what we have done is we have made our classrooms a kind of prison, that you have to learn what you have. So since you have come in my school, I will teach you whatever I want to teach you. We have to uh, move away from this. At least that we can, decide today, that at least we start teaching what students really enjoy learning. Even if they don't learn 3 4 subjects, and they want to learn some deeply some other things, we should allow them. Our credit system in the new education policy has been created in such a way that you can give credit and you can give degree by whatever they want to learn, rather than force them to learn. Then we have to teach them life skills. We have to make them a better human being, and for that we have to really follow on our Indian knowledge system, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Yoga has become a very common word, but yoga is just not doing asanas and stretching our limbs, or doing all those things. The whole system begins with yam and niyam. Until unless we follow those yam and niyam right from school days, we have to teach yam and niyam. Then only you come to asana and the third, fourth, fifth, sixth part of pranayam, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. The basic foundation of all this knowledge is yam and niyam. And what is this yam and niyam? Yam and niyam is there to train our mind and intellect, what to do and what not to do. So what is yam? Yam basically talks about 5 things which we should not do. We have to really look at our school curriculum and look at whether we are really teaching them what not to do. What are these 5 things which Patanjali said that we should teach everyone what not to do? One is ahimsa, non-violence. Not only a physical non-violence, but emotional non-violence, verbal non-violence. We can be violent in our words, we can be violent with our emotions. We have to teach ahimsa, physical, mental, intellectual. Nowadays, this narrative war, or what we find in social media, is a total unleashment of verbal hinsa on each other by trolling. We have to teach our students ahimsa. We have to teach our students non-stealing. What is not ours, we should not take it. That is what we should teach. Otherwise, in a classroom, if somebody doesn't have a pen, they simply take it from somebody else and think, oh, he has forgotten, it is mine. Until unless we teach them right from the beginning, non-stealing, then it will be there all their life. We have to teach them untruth is bad, Satya is always good, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. We have to teach them that if you tell one lies, you will have to tell 100 lies to cover that one lie. Why make your life difficult? That's what is part of yam. Then we have to teach them aparigraha. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. We get attached to everything. We get attached to our bag. We get attached to our sleeper. We get attached to our dress. And all this is the cause of pain and sorrow in all our life, because nobody taught us the importance of non-attachment. So this is, we have to teach them in their younger days the value of this aparigraha. And the last is brahmacharya. Now brahmacharya has been, English translation has been translated as celibacy. It is 100% wrong translation. Brahmacharya is control over senses. We have 5 senses: smell, taste, touch, and all that. We should learn to use our senses in the right way. That is, and it's a very important learning. What kind of food we should eat, what kind of things we should do, how to use our body. This brahmacharya is basically how to control our body and its desires, because they are the cause of all the pains in our life. So until unless we teach these 5 things, what knowledge system we will be talking about? This is the foundation of education. So this 5 yum we need to include in our school education. How we do that? In the form of stories, in the form of plays on the ground, by exercises in the classroom. So we have to redefine our curriculum in such a way that we integrate this yum in our school education and continue in throughout the education, whether even up to PhD level. These 5 things have to be drilled into their mind, so that when they go out in the world, they know that these 5 things they should not do. Then 5 things we should do. That is, Patanjali is talking thousands of years ago, which we are still not able to understand. The first is shauch, purity, cleanliness. Our Pradhan Mantri has to go out with a jhadu to show that how we have to keep our environment clean, our streets clean, our home clean. More than 50% of the disease in our society is because of dirty water, not clean water. Streets are dirty. Until unless we, even before we start practicing yoga, we have to understand that we have to do this. What things we have to do is shauch, cleanliness. The second is santosh, contentment. We have to be contented with what we are getting. Because if contentment is not there, we will be restless. And the restless mind, as Arjuna said to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, is the cause of all the trouble. That restless mind is driving him away from the battlefield. So if we are not contented, we will be running away from our responsibilities. We will be running away from what we need to do. We will be running away from our duty. So contentment is the second thing. The third is tapas. Tapas is not some tapasya. Tapas is consistency of doing something. If we want to excel in something, some skill, we have to be consistent. If we want to be a good singer, we have to practice. If we want to be a sports person, we need to practice. If we want to be a good student, we need to consistently read, not just one night before the examination. So tapas is that. And then swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is not self-study that I pick up a book and start studying. Swadhyaya is self-exploration. Understand yourself, know yourself. In my introduction, Professor Hindu Rao said that I have written a book, Discover the Arjuna in You. That book is all about that you first discover yourself. If you want to do anything in life, be on a continuous process of understanding yourself. Once you understand yourself, you will be the greatest person on earth, like Arjuna. So the fourth thing Patanjali says that keep on evaluating yourself, keep on looking within you and see what you are doing, what you have done, what you should not have done, and how you can improve it. So this continuous inner processing is the fourth thing one must do. And the last thing Patanjali said is Ishwar Pranidhan. There is always, we may not believe in God, we may not believe in anything, but we certainly believe that there is higher energy called Ishwar. And 99.99% of the environment is not in our control. What is in control is only our karma. So whatever karma we do, we should do it with samarpan, surrender, with the feeling of surrender, so that we are not disturbed by the success or failure of the result of our action. So until unless we teach this yam and niyam, implementing Indian knowledge system will be futile. We have to integrate this. So I will start concluding. It is nearly 45 minutes I have been talking about. So what I have done here is I have said that if we want to teach people, students, then first try to be a good teacher, and I have mentioned about those qualities. Then I talked about the structure of Indian knowledge system and how we can implement that Indian knowledge system in our education system. I think with this I will conclude, and if there is a time for some couple of questions, I am ready. Namaste.
Namaskar, sir. Thank you so very much. Truly an outstanding talk that you have delivered. each and every thought that you had shared on this very auspicious day today will just remain forever etched, sir, in the memory of everyone. And everyone may really like to, not many takeaways when we look at, this entire 45 minutes, the entire session. It was as if we have witnessed that what a true teacher, the kind of an everlasting impact, it can make, not to the students, but also to the entire society as such. This entire wonderful journey, the entire weaving of this entire process, the thought process that you have been able to share with us, we have felt so truly blessed, sir, to have you with us on this occasion. We could have, it is something, we are extremely spellbound, with your talk, and we really look forward to an opportunity to have you in person to listen to you. Thank you so very much, sir, as a warm, sincere gratitude from not only DELNET, but from nearly 500 of us who are there on this platform, who have really felt so blessed to have listened to you. You are such a great, the thoughts of great wisdom, the experience that came out from you on this occasion of the, Teachers' Day. We remain ever grateful to you, sir. As a token of our warm respect and sincere gratitude, sir, this shawl I would like to, would like to present it to you, and look forward to an opportunity, to meet you also in person whenever you are coming, planning out to Delhi. But this, as a token of our very warm, sincere gratitude to you, sir, and also for illuminating, not only today, but also you have truly illuminated everyone who has been able to join us, this morning, and celebrating this very, very special day. And this has truly been a great blessing, for us, sir, to have you with us on this auspicious day today. Thank you so very much, sir. Remain ever grateful to you, ever remain grateful to you. And with your permission, sir, we may like to have this entire, session recording to make available on the DELNET YouTube channel. Each one of us would really like to, keep on listening to it again and again, and trying to see, that how best can we, adopt and practice, what you have dwelt with in the last 45 minutes. We would really sincerely be wanting, each one of us, and ever remain grateful to you, sir. Thank you so very much for your very, very kindness in being there with us. And we just remain, and I would like to, send across the 2 copies of your own book for your autograph on that, and would be happy to have one in the library of DELNET and as one personal copy. And we really have, it's like discovering, it's something to discover. And each and everything that you have, sir, spoken about, I think there could have never be anything much finer, better, to celebrate, in the true spirit, you have been able to, you really have given us those moments to cherish forever, and we remain ever grateful to you, sir, for this. Thank you so very much indeed, sir, and we really look forward to having you in person sometime at DELNET, and we will truly feel blessed enough for this. With your permission, sir, I know that you have to take a flight for Delhi and has to leave for the airport. With your permission, sir, we may like to just keep the floor open maybe for 5 minutes time, because I could very well can feel that many of our colleagues here who are on this platform on this very special day today may like to also establish a direct, connect with you today. So with your permission, sir, just for 5 minutes more, we would like to keep the floor open. And this is for all of our attendees. The floor is open for you now, and you may like to establish a direct connect, with our most distinguished speaker. I request you, please kindly raise your digital hand, and we would be very, very happy, to get connected with you. I'm just swifting through the entire candidate, our attendees here. And if you may like to ask anything, please do kindly raise your digital hand, and we would be very, very happy. And we have to be very quick in winding up the session today. As I said, that sir has to come to Delhi and has to board a flight and has to leave for the airport. I'm requesting Mr. Manoj Kumar. I could see, he has raised his digital hand. Mr. Manoj Kumar, could you please unmute yourself quickly and ask your question? This is for you, Mr. Manoj Kumar. Because of paucity of time, we have to be quick enough. If not you, then I may have to, go forward. We have Mohammed Atiq. Mohammed Atiq, could you please unmute yourself and ask the question? This is for you, Mohammed Atiq. Could you please unmute yourself? Otherwise, you can send across your question on the chat, and we would be happy to forward it to our distinguished speaker. This is for Naveen T. Naveen, I can't give you a connect because there is no audio device. We have Neeraj Chauhan, who is there and may like to ask a question. This is for you, Mr. Neeraj Chauhan. Could you please unmute yourself, Neeraj? This is for you, Neeraj Chauhan. Neeraj, could you please unmute yourself? If not, we are really getting a little impatient on this and have to be very, very quick enough. This is for Parvesh Kumar. Mr. Parvesh, could you please unmute yourself? Mr. Parvesh, could you please unmute yourself? If not, let me just be quick enough. This is from Pratibha Wagmare. Pratibha Wagmare, could you please unmute? Yes, we are connected, Pratibha. Pratibha, we are connected right now. This is for Pratibha Wagmare. Pratibha, we are connected right now. I'm extremely sorry, sir, for barging in your time. And this is what technology does.
If you write in the chat box, it will be easier to, follow.
Yeah, you can write it in the chat box also. We can take the questions from here. This is for Raja Rampal. Raja Rampal, could you please unmute yourself? Mr. Raja Rampal, could you please unmute yourself? I'm compelled to mute you now from here, and we'll just quickly be moving and then seeing the chat box if we have questions there. This is for Saloni.
There is one question. What is opinion teaching technical subjects in vernacular language? Somebody has written.
So yeah, in the chat box. So yeah, there are three. One question is also, sir, there is in the technology dominating environment, how to handle the students so softly. Can you please give one or two more ideas? So this is from Dr. Sujata Kannan. In the technology dominating environment, how to handle the students so softly. From Dr. Sujata Kannan from Chennai. Would you like to, sir, say something on this?
When we say technology, we look at only IT as technology. The whole thing is technology. In fact, there was a book called Code Name God. That book said that every technology, whether invention of a wheel or invention of a plane to invention of this today's modern information technology, everything is technology. There has been always progress in technology, and generations have been handling them in the way we have to be proper human being first. If we are proper human being first, we can handle technology, we can handle curiosity, we can handle whatever excess energy in the classroom, we can do that. But for that, our mind has to be cool. These are all domain specific things, will always come and go. They will keep on changing with time. But if the human being remains constant, and if the humanity remains constant, those qualities remain with us, we will be able to handle anything, any subject on the earth as a teacher, as a guru.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a very enlightening reply. So there is a question coming from Mr. Sangareddy Chandramouli, who says, sir, thank you so much for your enlightening lecture. Nowadays, students are not interested in learning. How to address this issue?
Because we are teaching them what they don't want to learn. I have been talking about that. Unfortunately, that student was mesmerized with engineering, and he takes or she takes admission in engineering, but intrinsically that person wants to be an author, or intrinsically he wants to be a Chetan Bhagat, or wants to be somebody else. That is the intrinsic capacity that person has. But we have confined that person in the classroom, and we are teaching them all calculus, differential calculus or something. And with that person, though initially that looks very glamorous, but when you go to nitty gritty, only some refined, subtle mind will be able to understand the fineness of mathematics. It is not necessary that everyone is very great in mathematics to understand technology and whatever is going on. Coding and all this is a linguistic thing. Actually, it is a language, competency which makes a person good programmer. So we have to segregate these skills very finely and teach them accordingly. Then only they will be interested. I always say that in this world there is never a bad student. It is always a bad teacher. And a bad teacher is bad because that teacher has not looked within. Otherwise, every teacher will be a good teacher. So, but a student, because that student is there to learn, a teacher has to devise methods how to teach or guide or mentor that student in the right path, which will transform the life. Maybe that student will lose 1 or 2 years in the class in some particular course, maybe some money which paid for the fees. But if that student you guide and guide in the right direction, that will transform the life. That is why we are teachers, we are guru. We have to show the dimension.
Thank you so much, sir. So two questions, only two questions now. We would like to mention it to all our attendees that because of paucity of time, already we have taken away a lot much of time of sir. And these are the two questions, that we would like to really pose to our distinguished speaker, sir. This is from Dr. Anupam Dalal, who firstly would like to thank you for a very, very amazing session today. And Dr. Anupam is wanting to know that, sir, only one question: how to control the anger of the students, these agitated students that we find it, in the academic institutions around, how really to control their anger.
In Bhagavad Gita, in 2nd chapter, Krishna says how anger arises. The foundation of the anger is the desires. We want something, and when we don't get it, we feel dissatisfied. When we feel dissatisfied, we start comparing with others who have it and I don't have it. Then slowly we start developing anger towards those who have it. So anger doesn't come suddenly. Anger comes out of a process. Many a times that process is so quick that we don't even realize that anger arises. But if we follow the Patanjali's path of continuous observation of our behavior, we can even split the anger rising in microseconds, and we look within, we know that yes, anger is rising. And the moment anger is rising, you just forget about it. We don't get angry. Suppose you are in front of a person who is holding a gun, you don't get angry with that person. You want forgiveness from that person. Please leave me. You don't get angry. So getting angry is in your control. So even the same thing you have to teach your students when they get angry, that you are getting angry because something which you want to do and you are not able to do it. Develop the skills to do that, and they will. So until unless we teach these fundamentals of human life, we will not be able to be a good teacher. We first understand and experience ourselves, and then there is no problem which will be not solvable.
So this is the last question now. We are not going to really take much of your time now. You have been so very kind and gracious and already, giving us a lot much of your available time. So this question is from Annie Bocafore, and who again, so you had cited that example, when you were there at NIMS, and that, this increased usage of mobile phones by the students, and how really to tackle that issue. Sir, what would you like to say? And this is a universal problem which is being there. How our academicians, the teachers, who have a greater, responsibility, and also they are the ones, who have to bear the brunt, all the time. So how really, what is your message to the teachers, for this?
No, there are many ways. If you don't want to make use of the technology, you can go to the Stone Age and say that now all of you are in Stone Age, keep your mobile outside the classroom and come in the class. Then don't use overhead projector, then don't use a smart board if you don't want a mobile in the classroom. The problem arises, we don't know how to use this technology effectively in the classroom. Now the normal method of board and pen and blackboard is gone. You have to design your teaching using mobile. You can, while teaching, you can send some questions on mobile and ask them to answer that immediately. If some, those who are on mobile, they will immediately pick up those questions. Those who are not on mobile, they will not be able to pick up the questions. You have to, technology friendly. I remember when I was in engineering college, we were using, slide rules, and then the calculators came. So we were not allowed to take calculator in the examination hall. And today the artificial intelligence and other things is in the same level as calculator in my generation. We have to learn to make use of these emerging technologies effectively in the classroom. There should be digital teaching learning platforms and coaching classes in every university and colleges, how to make effective use of these mobiles and technologies at the level. Don't take this as a hindrance in teaching, use them as a support in teaching.
Thank you so much, sir. I could still see that the questions are pouring in, but we also know that we are hard pressed for time, and we really don't want you to get, really to rush, at the last moment for the flight to take. But we can certainly, sir, would like to request you on this platform, through this platform, on behalf of everyone, that we may like to have, DELNET does organize, sir, we have a book talk series programs that we organize every now and then. We may like to have, this wonderful opportunity to have you again and to discuss on the two books that you have authored. You have authored many, but yes, especially, for our institutions, for each one of us, we may like to, sir, at your convenience in the next few months' time, we would like to again be requesting you to join us again, because it would truly be a great blessing again, yet again, to get an opportunity to listen to you. What a great day, sir, to celebrate, and you have made the difference, by being here, making it so very special. We are going to really cherish, remember 5th of September 2024 to have celebrated the Teachers' Day in the best of the spirits. And you have been the one, I'm completely speechless to say, sir, what an amazing experience it was, for each one of us to have really not only to learn, but really to know about, discovering the real, Indian knowledge system, this Guru and Shishya Parampara, all the examples that you have cited. I'm not sure how many of us, if we even conduct a survey, I don't think, we'll be able to get even a double digit in that. You have been the one, sir, you have really enlightened, illuminated, each one of us here today on this very auspicious day, and we remain ever grateful to you, sir, for your very gracious, such a great presence of yours with us. We really look forward, sir, to have a great opportunity to yet again get connected with you. And we are certainly going to, and I could see that the questions are still coming in. Everyone is really want to get connected, even directly, with you. And it has been a blessing. We have really made such a wonderful beginning today, knowing about you and the great knowledge. You are a knowledge house. It's a lighthouse. You are illuminating, light into the lives of others. And we remain ever grateful, sir, to really having this wonderful opportunity to get connected with you today. Thank you so very much, sir. Remain ever grateful to you, sir. Thank you so very much. Professor Vedanta, if you may like to say something to conclude, I would request you. You are please kindly.
Yes, this today's morning and the Teachers' Day, it was enriching knowledge to everyone. I am really thankful to Professor Satish Modh sir, our Vice Chancellor sir, and then I really am thankful to Dr. Sangeeta madam from the DELNET who organized this event with when we have the workshop in the Somaya Vidya Vihar University, and it was very good on this occasion, which is very good experience to everyone that how the Indian knowledge we need to learn and how we have to implement in our new curriculum and in the NEP 2020. This is the good experience and good learning for each and everyone. I am thank you for Sangeeta Madam, and our respected
Thank you.
Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
to
sir.
all
Thank
the
you so
participants,
much.
those who
And
have registered.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, all our very esteemed participants here today. I'm wishing you once again a very happy and blessed and enlightened Teachers' Day. May you keep on enlightening the path of others, and maybe each one of us remain connected. We remain ever grateful to Dr. Satish Modh for his very, very gracious presence on this occasion today, and for truly enlightening, spreading the light around. And this has just been made possible, sir, because of your very distinguished presence with us today. Thank you so very much indeed. We really look forward to having an opportunity to get connected again. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.